The View co-host Sunny Hostin's husband, Emmanuel Hostin, has been accused of federal insurance fraud.
Sunny Hostin, her husband accused of committing federal insurance fraud in a...
All right, hold on tight, because this story is about to get wild, with more twists and turns than a roller coaster at full speed. Picture this. Sunny Hostin, the bold and outspoken co-host of The View Asterisk, known for her fiery takes on everything from politics to pop culture, suddenly finds herself caught in the middle of a legal and personal storm that's got everyone talking. And trust me, we're not talking about your average tabloid drama. This one has it all: federal lawsuits, accusations of fraud, and even whispers of serious behind-the-scenes chaos. If you thought Sunny was just known for her heated debates on daytime TV, think again. This scandal is plastering her name all over the headlines, and not in the way anyone would want. Let's dive into it.
I forget who she is. She's been, for years, lecturing America about morality and equality.
Let's set the stage with a central figure in this mess. Emmanuel Hostin, Sunny's husband. Emmanuel was once a respected orthopedic surgeon, or at least he was, until a bombshell lawsuit hit the headlines. American Transit, a major insurance company, has accused Hostin and nearly 200 other individuals of being part of a massive fraud operation. And we're not talking about simple billing mistakes here. No, the lawsuit claims these individuals were involved in a scheme so elaborate it could make a Hollywood heist look like child's play.
To the documents, he knowingly provided fraudulent medical and other healthcare services, including arthroscopic surgery.
Here's the kicker. The accusations don't stop with Hostin. Rumors are swirling that Sunny herself might have known more about her husband's alleged activities than she's letting on. And let's not forget, before Sunny became a household name on The View Asterisk, she worked as a federal prosecutor. That's right, her entire career was built on upholding the law and cracking down on corruption. The irony here is so thick, you could slice it with a knife. People are already speculating that Sunny might have used her legal expertise to help cover up her husband's tracks. Could she have been the mastermind behind the operation? Or is she just an innocent bystander caught in the chaos? Either way, the internet is buzzing, and opinions are flying in every direction.
This is the largest RICO case ever filed in the state of New York. You guys wrap that around your brain. That's bigger than the mafia.
Let's dive into the lawsuit itself, because this isn't your typical courtroom drama. American Transit is accusing Drew and the other defendants of exploiting New York's no-fault insurance laws. For those who aren't familiar, these laws are meant to make it easier for accident victims to get their medical bills covered without having to prove who was at fault. But according to the lawsuit, Drew and his alleged co-conspirators turned this system into their personal cash cow. They're accused of performing unnecessary procedures, submitting fraudulent claims, and pocketing tens of millions in bogus payouts. And here's where it gets even more scandalous. Under New York law, any damages awarded in the case could be tripled. So if the court finds Drew guilty, we're talking about potentially billions in penalties, enough to destroy even the most established careers.
Scamming insurance companies from taxi drivers, Uber drivers, and Lyft drivers. He was performing unnecessary surgeries and then providing fraudulent medical services.
But wait, it gets worse. Reports are now emerging that federal investigators executed a search warrant at the Hostin residence and allegedly uncovered large sums of cash hidden away. We're talking stacks upon stacks of money, enough to raise serious questions and fuel endless speculation. Was this cash part of the alleged fraud scheme, or is there another explanation? Sunny has, of course, denied any wrongdoing, calling the accusations against her husband baseless and insisting their family has nothing to hide. But let's be real. When federal agents are rummaging through your home and rumors of hidden money start swirling, it's hard not to wonder if there's more to the story. Sunny has never been one to shy away from controversy. On Asterisk, The View Asterisk, she's built a reputation for her sharp opinions and no-holds-barred commentary. But now her critics are having a field day, accusing her of hypocrisy and questioning how she can sit on national television, calling out corruption when her own household is under such intense scrutiny. And honestly, it's a fair question. How does someone who spent years demanding accountability and transparency reconcile that with the allegations against her husband, and maybe even herself? Social media is ablaze with people calling for her resignation from Asterisk, The View Asterisk, arguing that her credibility as a commentator is now shot. Others are defending her, saying these are just accusations, and that everyone deserves the benefit of the doubt. But let's face it, the court of public opinion is rarely kind, and Sunny is learning that the hard way.
You're married, Tom, you're married. If your husband's doing something, if he's allegedly doing something like this, you guys would know if your wives were up.
And speaking of public backlash, the drama on the set of Asterisk, The View Asterisk, hasn't been any less intense. Sunny's co-hosts have been noticeably tight-lipped about the scandal, but you can practically feel the tension in the air. Fans of the show have picked up on it too, with some speculating that the network might already be considering cutting ties with Sunny to protect the show's reputation. After all, Asterisk, The View Asterisk, has built its brand on tackling tough issues and holding people accountable. Can they really keep Sunny on the panel while she's caught up in such a messy legal battle? It's a question that's only adding more fuel to the fire.
Sunny Hostin and her husband, Dr. Emmanuel Hostin, are preparing for a legal battle to fight accusations that he committed federal insurance.
Now let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture. This isn't just a story about one doctor allegedly committing fraud or one TV personality facing backlash. It's about the intersection of power, privilege, and accountability. Sunny Hostin has always positioned herself as a champion of justice, someone who fights for the little guy and speaks truth to power. But if these allegations prove to be true, it could completely shatter that image. And what about the patients who were allegedly caught up in this scheme? If the claims are accurate, real people, many of them taxi and rideshare drivers, were subjected to unnecessary medical procedures just for the sake of profit. That's not just unethical, it's downright horrifying.
It's a very serious crime. In fact, it's one of the largest, if not the largest, RICO case in New York's history.
And let's not forget the legal implications for Sunny herself. If investigators uncover any evidence linking her to her husband's alleged activities, she could be facing charges of her own. And we're not talking about a slap on the wrist here. This could mean potential prison time, financial ruin, and the total collapse of her career. The stakes are incredibly high, and the pressure is mounting by the day. But here's the thing, Sunny isn't going down without a fight. In a fiery statement, she blasted American Transit, accusing the company of running a smear campaign against her family. She claims the lawsuit is nothing more than a desperate attempt to avoid paying out legitimate claims and insisted her husband is innocent. Their legal team, led by high-profile attorney Mark Gagos, has already threatened to countersue American Transit for defamation, demanding $5 million in damages. According to Gagos, the lawsuit has caused irreparable harm to Drew Hostin's reputation and the emotional well-being of their family. However, critics aren't buying it. They argue that Sunny's combative response is just a distraction, a way to shift the focus away from the serious allegations against her husband.
Hostin of The View, who's constantly raging about race and reparations and how bad America is and its race.
And let's not ignore the irony here. For years, Sunny has been on Asterisk, The View Asterisk, calling out public figures for their alleged misdeeds, whether it's politicians, celebrities, or anyone in between. She's built a career on holding people accountable. But now the tables have turned, and she's the one under the microscope. It's a classic case of the hunter becoming the hunted, and the internet is absolutely eating it up.
She is self-appointed. She knows everything. It's great to see her ego take this hit, but I think it will be short-lived.
It's amazing to listen to her talk.
As the legal battle unfolds, one thing is clear. This story is far from over. The lawsuit against Drew Hostin is expected to drag on for years, with endless court filings, motions, and discovery processes. With so many defendants involved, you can bet there will be plenty of finger-pointing and shifting alliances. But the real question is, how will this scandal affect Sunny's career and public image? Can she weather the storm and come out stronger? Or is this the beginning of the end for her time in the spotlight? Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, this is a story we'll all be watching closely. Let's be real for a second. This whole situation has got people talking, not just about the scandal itself, but about the larger issues it represents. How do we hold people in positions of power accountable? What happens when the public figures we look up to fall from grace? And most importantly, how do we separate the truth from the noise in a world where rumors and speculation spread like wildfire? These are the questions at the heart of this drama, and they're questions that don't have easy answers.
Oh, no. I think that it's very helpful that he's handy, and when we travel, I'm not picking up any bags. He's the one that's hefting them overhead. He throws the garbage out. He does the heavy.
All right, if you thought things couldn't get any messier, buckle up, because this next chapter takes the drama to a whole new level. It's like every time you think you've seen the peak of this chaos, another bombshell drops, leaving everyone scratching their heads and asking, asterisk, what's next? Asterisk, Sunny Hostin and her husband, Dr. Emmanuel Hostin, are at the center of a whirlwind that seems to be spiraling further out of control. And with each new detail that emerges, it's getting harder and harder to look away.
Does not look well when your name ends up with 200 people in a RICO investigation. This is the biggest investigation since Giuliani shook the tree and a bunch of mobsters fell out, right? This is big stuff. And so, and thank you for bringing that video. It sure is ironic that she's up there. So
let's dive right back into the thick of it. While the allegations against Drew Hostin are jaw-dropping on their own, the ripple effects of this scandal are just as compelling. You've got a high-profile TV personality, a household name, someone who's built her entire brand on being a voice of reason and a fighter for justice, suddenly being dragged through the mud of her husband's alleged misdeeds. And here's where it gets even juicier. People are starting to question whether Sunny Hostin herself might have had a bigger role in all of this than she's letting on. Could she have been more than just a supportive spouse standing by her man? Could she have been actively involved in the inner workings of this alleged scheme? The whispers are growing louder, and the speculation doesn't show any signs of slowing down. Now let's talk about those rumors, because they're too wild to ignore. According to some sources, Sunny may have used her legal background. Remember, she's a former prosecutor, to help Drew navigate the murky waters of this alleged operation. Specifically, there's talk that she may have helped him funnel money through a series of shell companies, using her expertise to create a paper trail so confusing that investigators would have a hard time connecting the dots. And if that's not enough to raise eyebrows, there are also allegations that she acted as a sort of middleman, helping move funds around in ways that would make them nearly impossible to trace. Now, to be fair, these are just allegations for now, but you've got to admit, it paints a picture that's hard to ignore.
Totally different perspective on this. I don't really know what happened with this. The facts will come out. What I have a problem with is the core of who this woman is. Unlike you, I don't watch The View, bro. All I do is see clips.
I know you just like
twice a day.
But here's all I hear from her. America's violent, America's racist, America's bad.
Now let's add another layer to this already complicated situation. Over the years, Sunny has been very outspoken about her personal life on Asterisk, The View Asterisk. She shared details about her family, her marriage, her values, all of it contributing to the image of being relatable and grounded. But now people are starting to question just how much of that image is real. Because let's be honest, if even a fraction of the allegations against her husband are true, it raises serious questions about what's been going on behind the scenes. And here's the kicker. For someone who's built her career on calling out other people's behavior, this could be the ultimate irony. How do you reconcile being a public figure who demands accountability from others, while potentially turning a blind eye, or worse, allegedly participating in something so questionable?
Comes to us from Sunny Hostin. Sounds like a town. We're in Sunny Hostin. She was on PBS's Finding Your Roots, a show dedicated to researching celebrity ancestry. For context, Sunny is a staunch supporter of reparations and has made a fortune spewing nonsense about white privilege and racial justice.
And the hits just keep coming. Let's not forget the fallout happening over at The View Asterisk. This scandal has put the show in a tough spot, and you can feel the tension every time Sunny steps onto that set. Her co-hosts have been unusually quiet about the situation, which is odd considering this is a show built on discussing tough topics and speaking truth to power. But the silence is deafening, and it's got fans wondering if there's more happening behind the scenes. Could the producers be weighing their options, trying to decide if keeping Sunny on the show is worth the potential damage to its reputation? It's no secret that The View Asterisk thrives on its ability to spark debate and tackle controversial issues. But this might be a controversy they didn't see coming.
Wow. I'm a little bit in shock. I just always thought of myself as Puerto Rican, half Puerto Rican. I didn't think I was, my family was originally from Spain and slaveholders.
And speaking of fans, let's talk about how people are reacting to this whole mess. Social media has been flooded with opinions, and trust us, they're not holding back. On one side, you've got people defending Sunny, claiming she's being unfairly targeted simply because of her husband's alleged actions. They argue that she shouldn't be judged for something she may not have even been aware of. But on the other side, critics are absolutely tearing into her, calling her hypocritical and demanding she step down from The View Asterisk. One commenter even wrote, "As always, Sunny Hostin has actually brought this particular situation on herself in the first place." Another fan didn't hold back, saying the whole show is racist and hateful and needs to be taken off the air forever. Clearly, emotions are running high, and the court of public opinion is as divided as ever. But let's not stop there, because this story keeps getting messier. Remember how Sunny has always positioned herself as a champion for the underdog. Well, the allegations against her husband paint a very different picture. According to the lawsuit, Drew Hostin's alleged scheme targeted some of the most vulnerable people: taxi drivers, Uber drivers, Lyft drivers, people who often don't have the resources to fight back against a major fraud operation. If these claims are true, it's not just a betrayal of the public trust. It's a betrayal of the very people Sunny claims to fight for. And that's a narrative that's incredibly hard to come back from.
You're right. Anytime she says something stupid, I'm going to go, slave!
Now let's shift gears for a moment and talk about Sunny's response to all of this. She's not exactly sitting quietly in the corner, hoping it will all blow over. No, she's come out swinging, accusing American Transit of running a smear campaign against her family. In a fiery statement, she claimed that the company has a history of filing frivolous claims, has been investigated by New York State, and has even been sued by Uber Technologies. But she didn't stop there. Sunny and her husband's legal team, led by the infamous Mark Gagos, have threatened to countersue American Transit for defamation, demanding $5 million in damages. According to them, this lawsuit is nothing more than a desperate attempt by a nearly bankrupt company to avoid paying out legitimate claims. Here's the thing, though, critics aren't buying it. They argue that Sunny's aggressive response is simply a distraction, a way to shift the focus away from the allegations and onto the insurance company. And honestly, it's not a bad strategy. But will it be enough to sway public opinion? Only time will tell.
One thing, and I would have even actually not give her any is she said, well, like, I guess that's just what like they did back then.
Yeah.
She should have followed that up with saying something along the lines of, and I understand that that's a departure from the way I've talked about this before. That was like, to me, the one thing.
Let's not overlook the timing of all this. In the middle of the chaos, Sunny has continued to appear on Asterisk, The View Asterisk, tackling hot-button issues and delivering her trademark fiery commentary. But fans have started to notice a shift. Her usual confidence seems a bit shaken, and there's a noticeable tension in her interactions with her co-hosts that wasn't there before. It's almost as if she's trying to maintain a sense of normalcy while the world around her crumbles. But can she really keep this up? And more importantly, should she? There are already whispers that the network might be considering her future on the show, weighing whether her presence is worth the potential risk to its reputation.
Because if she is shaming descendants of this, will she continue to do that when she is now one of them, Dana? And it is funny. She's so wrapped up in identity, and she had no.
And let's not forget the broader implications of this scandal. This isn't just about Sunny and her husband. It's about what happens when public figures fall from grace. It's a story we've seen time and time again, but it never loses its intrigue. How do you rebuild your career when your credibility has been questioned? How do you regain the trust of your audience when they feel betrayed? These are the tough questions Sunny will have to grapple with as this saga continues to unfold. So where does this leave us? Well, for now, we're all just waiting to see what happens next. Will Sunny and her husband be able to clear their names, or will this scandal mark the end of the road for both of them? And what about Asterisk, The View Asterisk? Can the show survive this level of controversy, or will it be forced to make some tough decisions about its future? Share your thoughts and theories in the comments below. Let's keep the conversation going and see if we can unravel this tangled web together. Until next time, stay curious and keep the speculation alive.